Hello, welcome to another video. Sorry it's been such a long time since we've done the last video, but during lockdown we've not really had a chance to get out, and being a gas engineer I've been very busy at work over winter. So this video is going to be a review of the motorhome, the Benimar we have now, and I'm going to explain how we got to having the Benimar and our backstory behind it. So in 2017 we ended up selling our caravan, which we had since 2010. Now we had one prior to that as well, but we sold that, and in 2018 we picked up our brand new Autotrail 726, and we had nothing but trouble with it. It was a great motorhome. We brought it at the show at the NEC. We didn't expect to have any trouble with it being Autotrail, and that proved just to be completely wrong. I'll apologise for any road noise. Obviously during lockdown we're not out and about, and we're kind of on just the driveway filming this. But the remit for getting the motorhome we was looking for was pretty simple. We wanted bunk beds. The girls were getting older and taller, so they wanted their own individual space. As they was sat in the caravan, they would make the front up into two single beds, but it was getting too tall for that. So looking around the NEC, and there's not a lot of motorhomes out there with bunk beds in them, so that's how we ended up with the Autotrail. So we only had the Autotrail for about 6 months, I think, and during that time it spent a long time back at the dealership where we brought it from. It had numerous faults, including interior trim falling off while you was driving. There was a horrible problem with the waste every time you let the sink water go to fill the shower tray up.
Alright, let's see if Brown Hills has fixed this. Oh. So far so good. Not at all. Absolutely useless and incompetent. Which is now leaving the bottom of the shower tray full of residue from the pasta we washed up.
You know, every time we sent it back to Brown Hills to have the works done, it would then come back in a worse state. There was once the exterior window off the habitation door actually come loose and was about to fall out, so that resulted in a new door. However, whilst fitting the new door, they dropped it. So just a bad experience, and you know, every time we go to collect it, it wasn't left in a state you will be happy to take it away in. Sometimes there was tools left in there, sometimes dirty rags, there was bits of materials that should have been fitted and hadn't been fitted. It was just a really bad experience. So we was very nervous after that experience to actually buy another motorhome, because it's such a lot of money. I think the Autotrail was, I think now they're around 50,000, but then you have to add on the extra packs just to make it even of any comfort, like with the air conditioning and stuff like that. So I think for the driver's pack and the looks pack, which includes stuff like the blinds, which are all as standard on the Benimars, it worked out to another £3,000 more, because I think the driver's pack was about 1,500 and the looks pack was 1,500. So if I could offer anybody out there looking for a motorhome one tip, just literally one piece of advice, would be, I don't care how rich you are, I don't care how much money you've got, take finance out, even if it's only for £5,000, for example. you know, a small percentage, because without us taking some finance out on the Autotrail, we would have been stuck. That's what really saved us, because we had so much trouble. We went back to the finance company, explained to them. They sent independent assessor out on, I think it was 3 occasions over the 6 months or so we had it. And on the final time he come round, because it was sent the same person, he, going through his photos, he says this is in worse condition than when he first seen it, therefore we was entitled to a full refund, which was okay. The minus off the mileage we'd done, which was about 3,500, but there was never any compensation for the amount of times we had to keep going up to Brown Hills to drop the motorhome off, to have them repair it, us getting back up there to go and collect it. There was a lot of running about at our own expense. So moving on to happier times. So we were still in the market and we still wanted a motorhome with bunk beds, again with the kids getting older and that. So we chose this Benimar 413. It's a Tessero, so it's on the Ford cab. I particularly do like the Fords. They're a lot more comfortable to drive. We did go for the automatic model, and we seem to get a lot better deal on this. So what I'll do, I'll take you through from front to back, give you a review, my personal experiences, thoughts, and the good, the bad, the ugly. Right, starting off at the front, that stereo there comes standard with it on the 2019. It is god awful. I can't explain how bad that stereo is. It's been back to Marquest. Let me get some light on it. It's been back to Marquest several times. They've tried replacing the stereo, they've replaced the aerial. You just can't get a constant signal anywhere on it. You try and drive down the road, it just cuts in and out. Absolutely terrible. We were definitely going to get a new stereo. Right, sitting in the driver's seat is a very comfortable place with this motorhome. On the Ford, again, steering wheel is more like being in a car rather than being in a van, or I know the Ducatos are a bit more lent over. So this is more car-like than, you know, the Fiat we had before. The problem with this layout, I think, in this motorhome is I'm not a particularly tall person. However, if we just turn it around, you can see the table is almost touching the back of the driver's seat. So for people who are taller, not particularly hard, you know, that could be a problem. They might have to raise the seat more, but I'm sure it's not really too much of a problem. I'd say on a whole, the Fiat cab widthways may feel a little bit bigger, just based on when we try and turn the seats around, you have to faff with these ones more. So roll it right forward, twist around, and then it catches there. You have to then move it away from the steering wheel to turn it around a bit more, and then move it back. Might be my memory, but I can't remember having to quite go to that extent in the Autotrail, which was based on the Fiat. As far as cab storage goes, there's not a great deal of it in the Fords. You get a bit of storage on top there. However, don't put chocolate up there because it will melt if you've got the heating on. You got your glove box, sweets, handy bit of storage on top of the cab, on top of the steering wheel, and just your general cup holders and more sort of storage down there. But I know with the Fiats, they have the drinks holders down here and a little bit of storage, which I think this could really do with. Right, as we start heading back out of the cab a little bit, so there is much more storage on top of the cab area. We keep the pillows either side. Before on the Autotrail, it was a overhead cab bed, so we didn't have any of this storage across the top of here. It was all, obviously that was all bed. Right, so in the living area, I think is probably love or hate. Again, with this one, there's not so much of a living area. It's functional. The table is a bit of a, really is love it or hate it. Bad design, I think. If you look down there, right where your feet go, is a plastic vent, which you can see has been broken. Really, I think an aluminium or something would have been a bit more better for that. There's not a lot of room between the table and the front, so when you're trying to get through, I'll measure it up, try to squeeze through there, you're only looking at best 5-inch, 13 centimeters roughly. So, and that is as far over as that table goes. So when you're out and about on your travels and you just want to nip into the back to the toilet or something, it can be a real tight squeeze. Right, the fixed double bed in the Benimar is up in the ceiling, whereas in the Autotrail it was over the cab. Now, personally, I think this is a lot better the way it works for us, particularly in the hot weather, because when you're up above the cab on the Autotrail, it only had the window roof vent. So on a hot summer's night when it decides to rain, you can't really have the window open because you're going to get wet and heat rises, so it's always really stuffy up there. So what we found, this works a lot better because you get airflow going over the top of the bed no matter what. Keep the fans on, we managed to keep a lot cooler up there. So with this one, it is just drop down. Now, when we first got the bed, it used to drop to about there, which didn't leave you a massive amount of height. Again, you're looking 2 foot roughly, I think it was. So I've altered it on the stoppers over the other side. I'll show you in a minute. And we go all the way down, so it just touches the headrest there. Doesn't give you much more. It's probably another, what, 3 inches or so. So it's, but that makes a big difference once you're up there. We've never yet used a safety nets. There is safety nets go all the way around it. The other good thing is with the table, as much as we sort of love hate the table, you can use it the other side just to put a foot on to hop down. So although the ladder's fixed on this side, we don't have to keep climbing over the top of each other. Yeah, we can just get down the other side very carefully. Problems with the bed, there has been a few. They're quite common ones. As you're getting out, if you catch this switch, it will blow the fuse. If you have a little bit too much weight on the bed, it will blow the fuse. It's really sensitive. The other problem we have sometimes with it is when we go to put it up, will it work now? It works now. It won't go. You'll press the button and nothing. It'll be like it's just dead or like the fuse is blown. And what we found is there's micro switches over the other side where the stoppers are. I think they're sticks like this. So if you're going to put your finger on the micro switch and press them up and down, then come back to it, press it, we have no problem. Right, let's put this back up out of the way. Right, on the bed we have had the problem with it moving about a little bit when we've been driving. And you can see the 2 little Allen key nut and bolt up there, Allen key, they can come loose and allows the bed to move side to side. Again, as far as I'm aware, quite a common problem. So it's just a case of keeping on top of them and making sure you tighten them up every once in a while. Right, so there's the stoppers we adjusted. Just brought it down. I don't know if you can see, the original pencil line was there. We brought it down to about there, which again isn't a massive amount, but it does help. So we've got a 12 volt socket, 240 volt socket there. Anybody who gets a Benimar, be it Tessero or Milo, there is one switch underneath the seat, which is just there. All that is for your onboard water tanks. It's your waste tank, so heating in there so it doesn't freeze over. Which brings me to my next thing, is where the seating is. So that seat, the bench seat on that side, contains the water tank, which is great because it doesn't freeze, but you are reduced on storage. So there's not a lot of storage up front. Same on this side. There is, on this side, storage is a minimum, just because all your water heater is stored underneath there. If I try and lift up, I'll show you what I mean. We cram a few little bits in there, but you're not really, other than the hoover and where all your electrics are, you're not going to fit a lot more underneath there. The overhead lockers on the bed do offer a bit of storage on this side. Again, we don't put anything heavy in them just because of the problem with it blowing a fuse. This side is very restricted because that's where your manual override is for the bed. If it ever does break, then you have to wind it up from there. These reading lights here all have USB charging points on them on both sides and on the bunk beds as well, which is very handy, as many things these days are charged by USB. Right, with the Benimar motorhome you get the Truma iNet heating, which is really simple. Currently I've got the heating on at the moment, so all you do, press the button, that flashes, press that, so then you can set your temperature however high you want it in the motorhome. Press again to confirm. If you want hot water, press that, then you confirm. That one gives you a choice of electric one, which is less powerful. Electric 2 I think is the most powerful. Mix, so gas and electric mix, or you can just have it on gas. But because I'm in here filming and it is beginning of January, it's quite cold, we're going to keep it on maximum. So that's quite easy, links up to your phone, pretty straightforward. I know you do get a few error messages, but that's generally because of user error normally. If you have it on electric or something like that and then you drive off site, unplug it, it will come up with an error message which you then need to clear. The control panel, again, straightforward. You've just got your 12 volt, your water, outside light, check your cab batteries. Well, that one actually is the batteries for the house lights, let's say, internal batteries, cab battery, water level, check your water level, then the brightness of the display. So that's pretty much straightforward. One top tip we found was these little beauties in France. Again, really quiet, USB, plug them in by the beds, and it was brilliant. And it was only pretty cheap off Amazon. So it come with the TV bracket, obviously no TV included. Come with the TV bracket. We did have a problem at first when we fitted the TV, if I'm honest with you, was we couldn't get a signal at all. I am quite technically minded, so I looked into it myself, and all it was where the aerial cable connects into the back of the socket there. They never bothered wiring it in. It would have been something, they dropped the cable through from factory, but somebody then forgot to wire it in. So that was pretty straightforward. Like you see, there's storage above, storage below. TV will go up and down. Bracket is designed to come out at all angles, so you could even turn around and watch it in the bunk beds if you want to. Right, the Benimars do have a couple of little party tricks, which is one, it's the edge of the seat here, then lifts up and you can store your bottles of wine or even dilute. So there's 4 holders there for drinks, so that's quite a nice bit of storage. Also bin on the door, which is always very handy because there's never anywhere to put one in these motorhomes was very limited on space. This side you have storage for your shoes, and this side also storage for, it's got to be much thinner shoes or magazines, but it is still very handy bit of storage. Right, moving on into the kitchen, you've got your sink, worktop, not a massive amount of space with your hob, so you've got 2-burner hob and an electric plate. I personally would prefer 3-burner on the gas. With this you do get a proper extractor hood, which works an absolute treat. Again, you get a cabinet above that and a little bit of storage just above that, but again the cabinet in here is slightly restricted just due to the extractor, so you can live with that. I'd rather have a decent extractor than one of those in the roof. Couple of bit of storage just up there. This is a combination oven and grill. It's okay, I wouldn't say it's anything amazing, pretty standard for motorhomes. The slight disappointment I think was this door down here, so we expected a nice big cupboard in there, and then when we come to open it, it's just a short little bit of storage. I mean, literally just big enough for your tins of beans. But that's because the gas lockers are on the other side of there. There's 3 drawers. I do wish they put the handles on all 3 drawers, because it's so much easier. I mean, we are on quite a bit of a slope here, but so much easier just to pull that handle. While we're under it, that's where the gas taps are to turn off. And then you've got another drawer there. These are all soft closing drawers, by the way, so they are good quality. Then that one's a nice big deep drawer, so it's big enough for all your saucepans, plates, kettle, draining board. It is worth noting though, you must make sure you lock these when you're driving, and it only going onto plastic catches. That's my other concern. But like I say, it'd be so much nicer if to put those handles on all 3 drawers. Great bit of storage on these motorhomes when you're so limited is this larder unit here, which basically pulls out, plenty of storage all the way back. There's not a metal shelf on this one, but there is plenty of storage. There's a wooden shelf here, so you can slide everything back. We did have a problem with this at first, where it wasn't staying in place. When we was driving, it sometimes come out, but we fixed that with a little plastic clip to bring it out further, so because it won't just quite catch it properly. They come with microwave as standard. Again, on the Autotrail, this was all optional extras, microwave, even down to the fly screen. We'd never had one in the habitation door on the Autotrail. If we wanted that, that was another extra charge, which on the Benimars all come as standard. Really good fridge freezer on this one, good capacity. It's a 3-way fridge, so it's 240 volt gas or 12 volt. I don't think the 12 volt will actually cool it down, but if you already get it cold and then run it on 12 volt, it will keep it cold. Right, it is worth noting, the top freezer door, whilst travelling, only clips into place with a little clip there. The fridge door, whilst travelling, it does have a clip under here, which locks over, and that locks it firmly into place. Right, next to the fridge is the wardrobe, which you have some storage above. We generally keep towels, hanging space, and again 2 drawers that are all soft closing. I mean, I do like the soft closingness. It just adds a little bit of quality to the finish of everything. And there is an interior light in the cupboard as well, so at night
You don't have to keep putting all the lights on just to go in the cupboard. There is coat hooks as standard. Again, speaker in the ceiling. There's a big roof vent above the kitchen area, so plenty of ventilation there. The bathroom in these is really nice actually. So what you do have to be careful for though is there is a step that you walk in. Excuse the state of the tray, we're storing muddy boots in here last time we went walking. But really nice shower and quite spacious. The light switch is under here actually. That's it, put some lights on. What I didn't like about the shower is the quality of the soap rack. That's gone rusty already, so really disappointed in the quality in that. Other than that, I don't think we've really had any problems with the shower. Drainage wise has been absolutely perfect. Right, the toilet can be a bit difficult if for the shorter people, because it's on like a platform just there. But beyond the toilet there's storage at the back of it. We keep some of our loo rolls. This, guys, is not the expensive caravan motorhome toilet paper they always advise you to buy. It is literally just a 2-ply cheap one from the supermarkets, works just as well. So it comes with all your toothbrush holders and everything is standard. Mirror to go hello, and again cupboards, mirrors. This could go badly again. Yep, so plenty of storage up there. So on the whole, for the bathroom, I think is really well done. It's so I think the bathroom is really well done. There's plenty of space in there, even with the shower door closed. I've never had any trouble getting changed in there at all. Point out, just above the microwave is where all your Truma iNet control is, your aerial booster, and the charging regulator for the solar panel, which again on this van comes as standard as solar panel. Right, with the Benimar as well, you do get the silver screen included. When you pick it up, you get all your all your extras. As pretty much most motorhomes, you get your electric hookup cable and your first bit of toilet solution and stuff like that. So that was nice, because we never got the silver screen from the Autotrail. Right, the bed, I've just measured it on the bunk beds, is 80 centimeters width way by 208 centimeters. So for a bunk bed, that is fairly big. And on the lower bunk, you get the light with the charger and a bit of storage here, net storage. Again, one of those fans. It does split because there is 2 separate levels. It does go in there slightly, not a great deal, probably 10 centimeters at the most, if that. So what you do, you can flip the cushion that way and then the board will come up the other way. Now, as you probably just noticed, and I've done it in a previous video, let's move that cushion that way, we've got this stuff, because the problem is with the beds, when you're laying in bed and you're getting hot, it's just a solid bit of wood. There's no ventilation underneath, so they do get a bit damp. So we've put this stuff down and haven't had any trouble since. Right, the top bunk in this is going to be roughly the same size, or should be exactly the same size. Again, there's a light up there, but on this one you have this shelf that goes all the way down. So again, another great bit of storage. What I do like about the top one, it has got this, so you're not touching the outside so much. The windows are offset, so on that one you get just the top one there, and that one is all the way across the back of there. And them fixings up there are for the bike racks. Again, above the bed there is another speaker there and a roof vent. Speaker can be used to wake your teenage children when they can't be bothered to get out of bed, just by putting a stereo on loud in the cab. Right, so with the Benimar you get the fly screen as standard, which is really helpful, which is something we never got with the Autotrail. With the deal we got the awning and the bike rack included, but that was part of the deal, we didn't pay anything extra for that. Our biggest problem and our biggest gripe was we never fitted us a stop on the back of here. What was happening, because these sit proud, they was hitting the motorhome. So when we went back to Marquest, we explained it to them, but they says because Benimar don't fit them, they can't do anything about it. Which I just then replied, well, you're going to take any responsibility for the damage caused to the motorhome, because it's not fit for purpose. So they agreed to fit a catch onto there. Right, the rear garage is good, but it could be a lot better. So obviously, as I said inside, just move this out of the way. What I mean is, you're only left with that little bit of room there to try and get stuff in and out. So if you want to get the ramps out, you've not got a chance. Right, so the overall depth we've got in here is 50 centimetres. So that's quite a good depth, but the trouble is you're only left with this small gap here, which is about 17 centimetres. So when the beds are all made up, you then have to dismantle the beds to get anything out, to flip that up, to get stuff like the Kadak out and the ramps. But if they made this garage door lower to actually the floor of it, it wouldn't be a problem. You could leave everything in situ. Right, just to sum up then with this video, we had a really bad experience with the Autotrail. This Benimar has been so much better. We have had teething problems, but the build quality on this motorhome is overall a lot better. The finishes are a higher standard and we're very, very happy with it. Right, thanks for watching. I hope this review has been of some help to some people. If there's anything else specifically you want to know about the Benimar motorhome, or any questions you want to ask, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. Bye.